Hi, I'm Charisse.
And I'm Holly.
And today we're going to be discussing discharge.
Just saying discharge makes me giggle.
It makes me... it doesn't make me giggle, that's for sure. It just makes me go, ugh.
Why are we talking about it, Charisse?
Because it's sticky.
Is that the only reason?
No, we're talking about it because a lot of girls that are younger, that are just starting before they hit their menstrual cycle, or even when they're into it, don't realize what discharge is because people don't often talk about it. Because just the word is...
they could have given it a better word.
Yeah, what would you call
Candy? I don't know. No?
No.
I don't know. Candy could have really been something else, and that could have been called candy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what to call it.
I don't know what you would call that.
I don't know.
Sticky stuff.
It's not pleasant, but it's an important part of how our body functions. And so it usually starts 6 months to a year before you start your cycle. So if you've had discharge in the last year and you haven't started your period yet, it's a good sign that your body is starting to prepare. Mm-hmm. And do you have something you want to say?
Sometimes the discharge is different.
Yes.
From your monthly cycle, and it could just be the release of the egg. Mm-hmm.
So your body's preparing for a time when it's going to make a baby, right? And every month your body's doing that. And so your body is going to go through a time where it's just dry down there, and you notice, I don't really seem to have any discharge, I'm fine. And then over the course of the month, it's going to be dry for a little while, it's going to be sticky for a little while. When it's sticky, it could be kind of like white or yellowish and crumbly, like in your underwear.
Crumbly.
I know. But that's kind of what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We're keeping it real because you want to know. That's why, okay? And then there's a period of time where it's very slippery. That's another time. That's right before, when is that? No, really slippery, sorry. That's usually the period of time when you're the most fertile. And so your body is saying, if sperm were to come in, then it can travel really quickly on this very lubricative sort of texture.
Like a slip
all the way to the egg.
Like a slip and slide
like a slip and slide to the egg. That's what it's like. That is exactly what it's like. So that's usually the time when you're the most fertile. And then and another texture it can have sometimes is that it's just kind of creamy. So if you see that coming out of your body, you notice it on your underwear.
Yeah, you won't see it coming out of your body.
These things are all normal. Well, I remember, sometimes, like if you wipe, you'll see it, stuff like that. So anyway, that is all normal. What you don't want.
It looks like somebody cracked an egg in your underpants.
It does. Yes, it does. A little. Minus the yolk. More like an egg white.
It's like when you crack the egg and then you're trying to get that last little bit out of the eggshell. Discharge.
Leave it to Charisse to give the great metaphor.
Visuals are good.
Visuals are good. But like egg white, it doesn't have an odor. Like it doesn't.
Correct.
You may have just what you normally smell like. Like your own little human odor. But if you are like, that doesn't smell right. Oh. Something smells bad. You need to go to a doctor. It means that you probably have maybe a yeast infection, or you could have some sort of little bacterial infection, urinary tract, something going on in there. And so if there's a bad odor, or if it's a strange color, if it's not white or a little yellow or clear, if it's gray or green or other weird colors, you need to go to the doctor because that means they need to test it and they need to figure out what's going on for you. But it's, I guess, to help you with it, if there's a lot of it, then you can always wear a panty liner. And
I've chosen that.
And just
times.
Yeah, and just change them frequently.
Otherwise, sometimes it could feel like you peed your pants. Don't you think?
Yes, it can.
If you have a lot.
Yeah.
It feels like, oh.
When you're not dry down there, it just doesn't feel good. So it's just better to wear a panty liner, I think, if you're feeling like there's a lot of it.
And it would just be a panty liner. It's not like a big, thick pad.
Right. So I think
If it's a big, thick pad, then you are peeing yourself.
In fact, a pad probably won't even hold it.
You're peeing yourself.
Yeah. And usually if you say a lot, it's not like it's going to drip or it's going to, go through your underwear. I've never had an experience like that. Have you? No. And the good news is...
It feels like that, though, sometimes. It feels like, oh, my gosh.
It feels wet down there.
And then you look at it and you're like, oh, that wasn't a big deal.
When you started as a teenager, I think you can end up getting a lot more of it. And I think as you get older, you get less and less of it. Have you noticed that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's common. I think your hormones just adjust and change.
It's definitely hormonal.
And then you end up with less of it. So if you're worried about how much you make and it's kind of embarrassing to you or something, don't worry about it, because your body's going to equal out over the next few years and you'll have less of it in your 20s for sure.
Right.
That's all we know about discharge. Maybe we know more, but that's all we can think of.
Or if we haven't answered your question well enough on discharge. Be more specific.
Yes. And I'm Holly.
I'm Sharice.
Thanks for tuning in to Ask Mom on vaginal discharge. You did it. You were very mature, too. Just a couple